Good morning. I'm Don MacArthur. We're at the Windsor Star News Cafe with Dylan Christie and our special guest, opinion columnist Chris Vander Doelen.
Good morning.
Okay, Chris, you have a column in today's paper about taxes, how surprisingly they may be becoming one of the big issues of this campaign.
Well, it's maybe not surprising because taxes have been the big issue in Windsor for more than 10 years. Our taxes were the highest in Ontario, probably the highest in North America, when the current group of councillors took over a decade ago, and through almost superhuman efforts on their part and the administration were key. It could never have happened without the administration. They managed to virtually freeze taxes for 7 out of the last 9 years, and so that was a huge thing for the city, and it's the greatest thing that this council has accomplished, other than balancing the books. So naturally, it's being attacked by the challengers. Because it's such a big thing, it has to be attacked by the challengers. The challengers can't expect to win by saying, "Oh, that was great, everything you guys did was great, but elect me instead." So they have to somehow portray this as either untrue or a bad thing. So the challengers, namely Millson, is claiming that no, the taxes didn't go down. And a lot of the loopier candidates, council candidates, are also claiming the same thing. So I understand it's going to be a looming issue going forward.
Well, yeah, Eddie Francis, so you had him quoted. He said, look, like in 2006, I don't have the exact number, but we took in X amount. This year, we levied less.
Yeah, it was $393 million in 2006, and it's $388 million this year. So people argue that what Francis and Dilkins are saying is a lie because, well, my taxes went up $12. Well, that's because your assessment changed.
Okay.
See, this is a complex mathematical calculation, and into complex math always slip tricky politicians to spin the numbers to fuzz your head up and confuse you.
Well, Millson was on here, and he said, look, and he, you saw him, he was very passionate. He said, taxes have gone up. By, I think he said 16%.
Is it legal to call him a liar? Because it's not true. It is not true what he's saying.
No, I think you have to say obfuscate or liberal with the truth.
So what's he referring to?
It's not true.
But let me ask you this. If my house was assessed at $100,000 in 2006, and my house was also assessed at $100,000 in 2014, have my taxes stayed the same or have my taxes gone up?
They stayed the same or they went down a fraction.
But didn't the mill rate go up? So if my tax rate goes up and my assessed value stays the same.
Yes, but that's a relationship between the $388 million they're collecting and then MPAC, the province.
I'm talking about my $100,000 house.
Yeah, I know. Did one number go up? Yes. Did your taxes go up? No. Mill rate went up. Yes. Now this is the trickery of the math that's being used. It's an inverse relationship between the assessment and the mill rate. And once you get into inverse relationships, people's heads spin and people can make things out of that politically. It's just like the inverse relationships of bonds and interest rates. Most people can't understand that, and they won't understand this, and that's why it's a dirty trick on the part of Millson, and maybe it'll work with some people.
It might work, and it's not just Eddie, it's OC, okay, the city treasurer, like an honorable guy.
A very honorable man, and not only that, but he is a professional, a chartered accountant, and he has sworn his career on the fact that he's telling the truth.
He does. And he's sat down, I know, with Schmidt, and he's explained the numbers, and we have news meetings, because as you say, it's complex, and people...
Colucci is a man of high honor. I've been dealing with him for 15 years, and I think he's a terrific guy. They all call him OC around City Hall. Yeah. That's his nickname.
And he's not running for office.
No, he's not. No.
So if he says it, I would believe him maybe over a politician. Is that?
Listen,
that's the
all you have to do is
here?
look at your own tax.
But Millson says his have gone up.
It can't be true unless his assessment went up. And in the part of town he's in, I can't see his assessment going up. But I paid taxes in Windsor for 18 years. I paid the taxes here when they were the highest anywhere and still going up. And I tell you, I would have noticed if they hadn't gone up for 7 out of 9 years. So forget what Millson's saying. Look at your own tax form. Okay. Figure it out. Pick up the last 6 of them and compare them and see what happened. That'll be the truth, not what Millson says or what Dilkins says or what Francis says. Believe your own numbers.
Well, and then the thing too, the report you focused on, it's by an independent research group. They even say that they're working to strip away the slogans and electioneering. And what they're saying is that Windsor has the lowest taxes and second lowest debt, right? So aside from all that, you have this report, and that's what they're saying. So you can't really twist that.
I tried to look up where Windsor now stands in relation to the other local communities. There's a group called the BMA consultants out of Toronto who do this for the entire province, and but it's proprietary information, and they wouldn't let me into the final numbers. But but it's interesting. The 2 of the local communities refused to participate and refused to allow BMA to look at their books and figure out what their taxes are, and that's the town of Essex, where I live, and LaSalle. Tecumseh's in there, Kingsville's in there, but not Leamington, not LaSalle, and not Essex. So I don't know what that means. Are they ashamed of how they're stacking up? I mean, every other little podunk town in Ontario was in there, except for the 3 around here. So
Interesting.
Big day tomorrow. Chamber debate tomorrow. What do you hope? What do you think? Could this be the defining moment of the campaign?
Well, there's 3 weeks to go. It won't be the defining moment, but it'll certainly affect the trend line. Something's going to happen. I'm sure that both the leading camps, Dilkens and Millson, have something up their sleeves to shock and awe the other side. I'm hoping there's good turnout. It depends how many people buy tickets to it, what kind of crowd there is, and what kind of reaction there is. But it will definitely set the tone for what follows, and depending on who feels strong or who feels damaged by tomorrow's encounter, one camp or both camps might change their approach and fine-tune their campaign. And don't forget that Millson has some of the most experienced election hands in the province. Some of his people were Dalton McGuinty's right-hand men and women, so it's not as though they're amateurs at this. They can throw a spitball.
And he's pretty smooth too, like on his feet.
Oh, very, very, very fast. He's you could see why he was so popular in his day, and why he would have easily won re-election, probably in a landslide, had he decided to run a second time. He's very well spoken.
Charismatic. Is there one candidate who we should be focusing on most for this debate? Is there one who this is the
No. There's
for all of them. This is important for all of them. Is it equally significant?
No. Well, it's most important for the leaders, and that would be Millson and Dilkens, and to a lesser extent Horowitz.
Well, they're the only ones there.
Is Horowitz going to appear? I mean, did he?
Well, he's going to appear because let me tell you this. I phoned his campaign guy yesterday because we want to get Horowitz, here on the show, have a little chat with us here at the cafe. And he goes, "I'm going to get him to you after the chamber debate. Right now, he's hunkered down. He's practicing for the chamber debate. So they're putting him through the paces, trying to get scattershot Larry to focus on the issues and put his best face forward. Because of course, you're right. He skipped that other debate, the University of Windsor women's debate.
Yeah, I hope he's there because he has some interesting things to say, and he'll change the dynamic between the other two.
Sure.
And three is better than 2 in a debate. This isn't presidential. It's just a mayoralty. But
yeah. It should be fun. You got journalists. We usually like when we get sort of manila envelopes,
plain brown
envelopes on our desk, but you got a strange one this morning. Tell us about that.
Well, as people who are following the election closely realize, there's a mystery candidate. There's a guy, I won't even mention his name. He wants to be
mayoral candidate.
What did I say?
Just mystery candidate.
Yeah,
but it's a mayoral
mystery candidate for mayor among the dozen. Now, I'm not going to mention his name. If he wants to be a mystery, he can still be a mystery. But he dropped off this brown envelope with, I don't know, is this a picture of him, presumably?
It's a boxer, with a guy on the ground, on the ground on the ring.
Made in Windsor kind of manifesto on the back. It's very strange. He says he's not going to hold the line on taxes. He'll cut taxes. Well, what's he going to do? Sell Forest Glade? So I don't know. But he doesn't even leave a phone number or any contact information. So if he's treating this election as a joke, does he think he's some sort of mystery guy who's going to tantalize voters? I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of mentioning his name.
Well, you can check out, we got mayoral profiles on our site, and for one of the candidates, it says more to come, more to come, more to come, more to come. We have tried, we have failed, he hasn't contacted us. This is his first
just
outreach.
As well.
and I'm with Vander. I don't want to give him the time of day unless he steps
up. There's nothing we could fill it, so.
No, he's jerking our chains.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, thanks for joining us on the Windsor Star News Cafe.